Welcome back to the Truck and Truth. The Truck and Truth about Zeemods. Part 3. Which I know I said in part 2, part 3 would be on the email that allegedly is coming at the end of the week. But this one is dedicated to all the Zimps, the Zeemod fanboys, because if it wasn't for y'all's comments, this video wouldn't have been made. So keep it coming, because I swear to God, the more y'all come at me, the deeper I'm going to dig on your old boy Zane over here. By the way, Zane is Zeemod. In the description is a link to an article. Please click that link. Go read that article, because I'm going to be covering a very small part of this article. I'm going to be covering the part that makes Zane look the absolute worst. So you need the whole article. Go read the whole article. Is that going to make you suddenly think, oh, well, Z ain't so bad? No, not at all. It'll add to the part I'm giving you. I'm just going to give you the juicy. So the gist of the article is Zane Saxton, or Zeemod, CEO, founder of OOVEE, landed in a legal dispute over the game Spin Tires. By the way, if you're a fan of the game Spin Tires, go read this article. It's very interesting. I'm not going to get into the legal dispute. Like I said, that's why I said read the article. I'm not making that long of a video on this. So we're going to come on down here to the part where it says the other side of OV. Because you see, when this reporter reached out for comments, nobody wanted to comment. Except for one person, an ex-OV employee and original Spin Tires producer, Reese Bolton. It seems Reese Bolton had plenty to say. Let's get into it. Reese Bolton first became involved with OV around the time of its founding. For a number of years, he mostly did smaller projects for the company and later took on a voluntary PR role. In January 2014, just months before Spin Tires was released, he was named studio manager with the intention of creating an in-house development team, as well as taking on the role of producer on Spin Tires. Bolton worked closely with Zag, and that's how I'm going to say that name. It starts with a Z-A-G. I don't know how you would say the rest of that, so it's just Zag. Bolton worked closely with Zag on the design and overall development cycle. He says, and confirms Zag's story about not being paid what he was owed. You mean Zeemod would do such a thing? At least by the time Bolton left the company in April 2017, he recalls that this failure to pay, as well as Zag's own powerlessness in response, is a likely explanation for the time bomb incident. If you want to know more about the time bomb incident, read the article. In addition, Bolton also gave an explanation for the subsequent financial downfall OV suffered following Spin Tires' initial success. It all allegedly relates back to Saxton's spending spree in the immediate wake of the game's release. Oh, Saxton. You mean Zane Saxton? You mean Zeemod? Z? What? Now, the rest of this, and I'm going to put the screenshot up so you can see it. It's all quotes. This is from Bolton. Simply put, Zane was hemorrhaging money through his frivolous spending. He bought a house, 2 yachts, over 10 cars, including multiple AMGs, Land Rovers, and Dodge SRTs. He also bought a fairground ride and a haulage firm. He had no interest to make more games. He had plenty of debt to pay, including the Pavel, but he stopped paying that as well. Why, Zane? Tell me, Z, it ain't true. He even directed all future payments of Spin Tires from Steam to go to the account of an unrelated business so that there would be no record of it. This is the guy y'all are giving money to. And then there's the dispute with Sabre. According to Bolton, when Zag was brought in to work on spin tires, he was given leeway to put together a team of other contractors to help him create assets and assist with coding, almost all of whom, Bolton says, worked for Saber. OV had no programmers, artists, or any game development staff at all, he says. It's not surprising to hear that Bolton also affirms Saber's accusations that its proprietary assets and code were used in spin tires. After all, it was allegedly being made by Saber staff in their spare time. Milsom told me that when Saber discovered this, the rival publisher failed to provide any evidence for stolen assets, tech, or code. But Bolton says differently. Saber was not interested in shutting us down. Rather, it just wanted to find some resolution, Bolton says. As part of its effort to prove that its code was used, Saber shared code with us from its own engine that we compared with the code in spin tires. And they were identical. Saber suggested that in an effort to settle the dispute, it would be willing to create a port to spin tires for console and to also put any changes and improvements back on the PC. Since OV had no money and no interest in doing that work, this was an easy decision for Zane. He was able to eliminate his liability to Saber for stealing code and assets. This was a major win for Zane. He essentially lost nothing and was able to keep all the money from spin tires, the money he owed to Pavel, the money he owed to Saber for stealing their code and assets. I thought he was the luckiest guy on earth. I think your luck may be running out, Z. Here's some more from Bolton. While employed by OV, I received bonuses and was eventually told by OV's accountants that I needed to complete a tax return to account for them. It turns out that they classified my bonuses as contract work for research and development for spin tires. R&D in the UK on video games entitles the company to massive tax savings in the form of credits. I later learned that OV also falsified invoices from Pavel for work done in Russia and claimed significant tax credits that they were not entitled to. So in the end, not only did OV steal from Pavel and Saber, but it also stole from the UK tax authorities and put me in a situation where ultimately I had additional tax liability that Zane promised to cover and didn't. So see, not only does Z like to steal assets and codes from other companies and make money off of them, not only does Z not like to pay people for the work that they've produced, but Z, I guess, ain't much of a tax man either. And that's just that one little part of the article. Please go read the entire article before you ever give another penny to that guy. I'm Rick. This has been the Truckin' Truth. Peace. I'm out.